What's up, y'all? I made some twice baked loaded chuck roast potatoes that were amazing. When I say loaded with that juicy, tender chuck roast, I mean loaded. And then I started it off with a cheesy broccoli casserole that was amazing as well. This was a good Sunday dinner. Let's get into it. Got me some chuck roast, went ahead and cleaned them up and seasoned them up really good with these seasonings right here. Once those were nice and seasoned, I went ahead and coated them in a little bit of flour. And then once they were nice and coated, I went ahead and browned them in some olive oil for about 2 minutes on each side. Once those were nice and browned, threw them in my roasting pan, drizzled on some Worcester sauce, threw in some chopped garlic, some onion and bell pepper, a stick of butter, 2 cups of beef broth, a little of these seasonings right here, and then tossed in some fresh thyme, covered it up, and then popped that in the oven on 400 for an hour. After an hour, I went ahead and took it out, threw me in some carrots, covered it back up, and popped that back in the oven for another 45 minutes. While that was baking, I got me some potatoes, went ahead and cleaned those up, poked holes in them, coated them in some olive oil, sprinkled on a little salt, and popped those in the oven until they were nice and baked. And once my potatoes were baked, I went ahead and chopped the tops off and then dug all of that good potato out of the potatoes until they were nice and emptied out like this. Then I got the filling, went ahead and threw in a stick of butter, a half a cup of sour cream, some Colby Jack cheese, a little salt, pepper, and paprika, and made sure that was all nice and well mixed together. And then I threw that filling right back into those potatoes until they were nice and full like this. Pop those back in the oven for 15 minutes until they were nice and done and the cheese was melted like this. And then I went ahead and threw those potatoes on a plate. Once my roasts were nice and juicy and tender, y'all, threw that roast on top of those potatoes. Made sure they were nice and packed with all of that good roast and carrots. Y'all, this was a good meal. With the broccoli cheese casserole, I will do a separate reel for that, but y'all gotta make this meal. Y'all are gonna love it. Enjoy.